Welcome to another episode of Technicians in Vans Making Service Calls. I'm Kyle Kopp, Director of Customer Experience here at Advanced Office, and today we have a really special episode for you. First, we've got a special guest with us, Dave Delaney, who's interning with us right now. And today we're not going to visit with a service technician, but somebody else who spends a lot more time on the road than anybody else in our company. Logistics and delivery driver, Ovi Ceron. Hello! All right, you guys ready to do this? Let's do it. All right, let's go.
Installing nearly 1,400 devices to over 350 customers annually, our delivery trucks keep very busy day in and day out. With a territory covering 5 counties, 56,000 square miles, and 386,000 miles of roads, Southern California is a complex maze and one of the nation's most challenging driving environments. Because of that, we rely on a top-notch team to ensure your new equipment gets from our distribution center to your organization in perfect condition and ready to keep your business moving from the moment it's plugged in. Join us today as we ride along with one of our key team members, Ovi Ceron, whose job is to make sure your experience with Advanced Office starts off on the right foot by getting your new device to you safely and smoothly. This is Technicians in Vans Making Service Calls.
All right, so Ovi, let's start talking about you. You've been with the company for, what, 10 years? 9 years?
9 years.
9 years.
2016.
2016. How did you get started here? Where did you come from? What's kind of your background?
So I used to work for ALS, which is a leasing company that we return the copy machines to.
Right.
And so I used to work there, and the manager that was current at the time was Doug Rickerson.
Okay.
And I would help him out every time he would go over there because he was a tipper, so I would always help him out. But he wasn't a big tipper. He was only like $5 to $10.
Still, it's nice.
But he was cool. Yeah, he was real nice. And then I got let go from there because they had to do layoffs.
Mm-hmm.
And he came back and he was like, "Hey, where's Ovi?" and this and that. And my cousin, which was the manager there at the time, he was like, "Oh, we had to let him go because of this and that." And he was like, "Oh, we're actually hiring." He was like, "Can I get his number?" and this and that. My cousin called me, and then I got a hold of Doug. And yeah, I went from there. And I started working in November.
And did you come on as a driver or did you come on in another position?
No, I came in at the warehouse. I was helping out shipping. And then I heard the driving position was open because they had another truck they were trying to get. And the current driver was Lance. And I was always tagging along with him and helping him out. And when he would call out, I'll substitute for him.
Okay.
So, yeah, so I kind of like the driving, exploring. And so when the position opened up, I went to go talk to Tim Kedner at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I told him, and he seen me drive. He's been with me on delivery, so he knew I could do the job. He's like, "I already have interviews. Let me just interview him." And maybe 2 hours later, he came to me and he was like, "Yeah, those guys suck." He was like, "Yeah, we're going to hire you instead for the driving position." And boom, I've been doing it for maybe like 7 years.
What do you like about being on the road versus being in the warehouse?
Honestly, it's like being in different cities. Like, usually I'm like in like 3 different counties in just one day, so it's pretty nice. Sometimes you go a little far, so you kind of like look at the views. Sometimes it's a nice drive.
And how many deliveries do you typically do during a day, like on an average day?
I'd probably say it depends. If it's end of month, we would do close to 4, and then some Ricoh pickups and like all the pallet pickups. But if it's in the beginning of month, I would say 2 to 3.
2 to 3. Okay.
Yeah.
How long does a normal delivery take for you?
I would probably say, like, to get signatures and out the door, like almost an hour.
Okay.
It just depends. If I'm picking up a machine, it takes a little longer.
Okay.
Because I have to write up the other machine and bring out the machine.
What's the farthest you've ever had to go on a delivery?
Oh, it was to El Centro.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was 3.5.
Each way?
Yeah, each way. That's basically a whole, and it was just for caliber collision. Because there was no third party available.
So it was just like one little machine?
Yeah, it was 3.5 hours.
Oh, wow.
But it was cool. It was just a whole 8 all the way down.
Yeah.
Because I used to go to San Felipe all the time with the family.
Yeah.
Baja, California. So we would always go through the 8, go Calexico, to Mexicali.
So you're familiar with the route and everything?
Yeah, but this time we went a little further. I haven't been to El Centro in a long time.
What do you do on a drive like that when you've got 3.5 hours in the truck? Like, how do you keep yourself engaged and focused?
Yeah, usually I start exploring new artists. I would choose an artist and just go on the radio of it and then start exploring music or start listening to podcasts.
Who's the most recent artist you've discovered that you've enjoyed?
Because recently I went to EDC, that music festival.
Oh, yeah.
I went there, and so I've been listening to a lot of EDM.
So you're just raving in the car down the
Yeah,
freeway.
basically, listen to techno.
You get good lights and
Right? I wish, but yeah.
Any delivery over your 7 years of driving that stands out as just kind of maybe bizarre or the most interesting? Maybe you went to an interesting place.
For sure, probably be Fender.
Fender.
Yeah,
the guitar place.
The guitar place.
Is that out in Corona?
Yeah, that place was cool because I didn't even realize how many departments just to make a guitar.
Right. Yeah. It's got such a bunch of different people. Huh?
Yeah, and I saw some like legendary guitars in there. Basically, and one time I even got stuck at a staircase. It was like a 24 step.
Yeah.
And I was maybe halfway, a little bit more than halfway, then the battery died.
Oh no.
And I was stuck there for 45 minutes just holding it while the manager at the time was driving from the office to Los Alamitos.
With a new battery or what?
Yeah, with a charged battery, and I was just there in the staircase just holding it.
Just don't move.
Yeah, that kind of sucked.
Oh wow. Do you play? Are you a guitar person? Like
No, I tried to do the bass, but I maybe did it for like 2 years,
Okay.
and I got over it, got into skateboarding and video games.
But you can appreciate the guitar for what it is, I guess.
Yeah, for sure it's a talent.
Yeah.
That's not just something you can just pick up and do.
So aside from skateboarding, video game, and EDM, what kind of stuff do you do outside of work? What are your passions?
Lately, I've been just kind of like spending time with like other animals and my dog, taking them out.
What kind of dog do you have?
I have two. I have a mini dachshund and a pit bull.
Okay. How old are the dogs?
The dachshund's a year and
Oh, so still young.
4 months, and the pit bull is 4 years.
Okay.
Yes, it's a little bumpy.
It's like a massage chair. So what's your experience working for Advanced been like? I mean, aside from the job itself, how's your employee experience been?
It's been pretty good. Like, I feel like they trust me a lot with being out on delivery. So it's been pretty good. And I wouldn't have, every job had their up and downs, but most of them have been up, so it's been good.
That's good. When you go out to customers, what's kind of your normal interaction? Are they pretty easy to work with? Are they stressed? Are they pretty excited because they're getting new equipment? Like,
It's actually kind of fun. I never really thought people would get excited like seeing a copy machine, but a lot of people get super excited. They're like, finally! I was like, oh snap! It's like opening a Christmas present, like seeing what you've been waiting for.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Are there certain locations that are harder to deliver to? Like, if you're doing a high rise in LA versus, like the Huntington Library that's got a big campus. Like,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. LA would be like downtown areas with like a lot of like high buildings. It's the worst. Then you gotta like park. You gotta find. Most of those places are one way, so you gotta go like 2 streets down and then 2 streets to the left or to the right, and then you find the loading dock and you go like underground. Sometimes you gotta wait. Yeah, it's crazy downtown.
so who are we going today? What's the customer?
We're going to the villas in Rowland Heights or the Western Property Management.
Okay.
The apartments.
Okay. So this is like an on-site at one of the apartments.
Yeah, we're going to the leasing company.
Gotcha.
Okay, next stop is Rialto. A little further, but
Head east toward Desire Avenue, then turn left onto Desire Avenue.
looking at 42 minutes.
That's Ricoh.
Yeah, to Ricoh. Alright, thank you, buddy. Thank you, truck. Thank you, thank
At
you.
the light, turn right onto